is my. I was gonna start singing.
You want to kick us off?
What am I supposed to say?
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast.
Go stream my song "Mind Over Matter" and go stream "See Me Fall" because everybody only want to see me fall, but I'm not gonna fall because I'm the greatest. And yeah,
We don't want to see you fall. We want to see you succeed. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. This is the Red Eye Podcast. We have a special guest in the building who's always in the building because she also lives here with me.
I was about to say I don't be having a choice sometimes.
So you're not really a guest, but this is your third time on the show. We got Naomi Marie.
It's
So yeah, we got Bay in the building. So like I always say, I appreciate you guys checking us out on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, whatever platform.
Amazon got podcasts now.
Yeah, we on Amazon Podcast too, whatever it's called. We
I better
go
go stream this.
I better stream it. We appreciate
You
it.
heard it.
Really do appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much. The episodes have been actually doing really well, and you know it's a good feeling when people.
It's a good feeling too when you have people who ask to be in your podcast. You ain't even have to ask them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, we on the big things.
Yeah, I think people are surprised at the kind of production value of some of the stuff that we make, like even on your channel. Well, you got like 50K subscribers almost.
But I don't really be editing my stuff like you be editing your stuff. I look at me BS my edit just so I can hurry up and upload.
You're not supposed to be admitting that. But you know, for one, you know, you've grown your channel really quick, and if you know who I am, then you probably know who she is because you probably
seen him on my page or seen me on his page, vice versa. And we go viral a lot, or used to.
Speaking of viral, I was talking to Quasi. If you don't know who Quasi is, he was on one of my other podcasts. I've been on several of his. We were talking about clout, and it's funny because like people kind of act differently when they either gain clout or lose clout.
But what's your definition of clout, first of all?
To me, clout is just being known and people knowing who you are for whatever reason. But people tend to associate clout with influence, and I think that's where it's not the same. Like you can have clout and have no influence, be making no money with all the clout that you have.
Right. That's where I was getting at.
Right. So I think it's interesting. You've done it the right way. You have clout, and I've been involved with some clout because of you. And
it's kind of funny because I think in the beginning when we first got together, that's kind of where like everything started. And like I swear, I felt like sometimes you didn't see my vision and you didn't understand what I was doing and why I was doing what I was doing. But it all served the greater good.
I mean, I see everything, but at the same time, I always know that influence is everything, and clout is not exactly always what you want. Like clout is a double-edged sword.
It's hell of a drug.
You could be,
it's hell of a drug.
You could use it for all the right reasons, or you could use it for all the wrong reasons, or you could have clout, not make any money off of it. But truly, when you are yourself and you don't have to, sell who you are as a person negatively, people tend to be influenced by people like that, like you, right? So, you have your own creative art. You have your own business. You are respectable. You treat everyone fairly.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, you got a little attitude sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. You a little feisty. But, but it's another reason why people respect you, right? Because they know that you're not gonna put up with everybody's BS no matter,
I don't take shit from nobody.
But.
Except my mama.
No, you don't even, y'all be tripping. Y'all be tripping.
Sometimes.
But the fact that you have been yourself and you haven't gone outside of who you are to get to where you're going to be, I think that is a big deal, because a lot of people who gain clout, they're not acting as themselves. They're being this character, or
it's just like putting on a front to be somebody that you're really not.
Yeah, and
like kind of like what we talked about last time, with people posing with like lots of money, knowing that they don't really have money. It's all for show.
Yeah, and just think about things, right? So some people will do anything for money. whether that means selling their body or selling, fake products or scamming people. And those people tend to not have influence because they don't have any kind of moral behind, what they're doing. All they care about
Or
is the paper.
or respectable reputation.
Right. And not saying you can't have morals and, be doing that kind of stuff, but you, it, actually, that is what I'm saying. There's no way. I try to be nice about it, but there's no way, in order for you to attract an audience and have them truly respect you and follow you and listen to you, you have to be authentic and you have to be someone that people, when they see Naomi Marie on something, they're like, I want to be a part of it because I know who she is and I know she stands on her own 10 toes and, she's for the people. She's for us. And a lot of people, like, let's say, for instance, we were talking about OnlyFans one day. And I was like, no matter what, you may be using OnlyFans for, not everybody's on there selling their bodies on OnlyFans. But if you are trying to be someone who can influence a market, companies and big businesses who are looking for ambassadors and people to kind of champion their products are generally going to look at people who have OnlyFans in one light, and that's that they're probably willing to do whatever it takes to make some cash. And if that is the public perception of something, it doesn't matter what you're actually using it for. It's almost like weed, right? Everything has a good and a bad. There's the health benefits of, you're having aches and pains. You sleep well, depending on who you are. There are a lot of good benefits to smoking weed. But on the other hand, let's say you have a job interview the next day. Then you smoking weed could potentially cost you a job, which could
Or
cost you your
career,
future.
yeah.
Exactly. So there's a good and bad to everything. And the reason why I'm so particular about public perception is because it matters. And especially when you're trying to become a business person or be business oriented. So, we talk about clout and all that stuff and influence. To me, I really don't care to have clout, and I don't want clout, to be honest. I'd rather be known for my craft, but I want to have influence. I want people to listen to me, and even if they don't take what I'm saying as advice, they respect what I'm saying because they know it's coming from an authentic source. So I think you've done that successfully, and which is a reason why we have you on this podcast, because essentially you've been gone for a while. And
It's been almost 2 months.
it's been a little minute.
It feels longer than that, though, if we're going to be honest. But really, it's been like 2 months.
Right. And I wanted you to kind of touch on that because I think what you're going through is relatable to a lot of people. And I think that, once your story gets out there, people start to understand that, hey, it doesn't matter how many followers, whatever you have going, and go like this. Because I know if we keep this video going and I don't tell you by the end of the video, you're going to be like, what? You're going to have to delete the whole podcast. Yeah, it's gone. But if you're watching the video version of the podcast, which you should be, go ahead and drop that like rating, drop a comment, let us know.
And subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to the channel because we love that. We love that. We love to see all of you in the comments.
And we love consistency. Shout out to you.
Yes. Thank you. I'm trying.
No, you got to actually hit it.
Oh, I thought it was a COVID air bump. You know what I'm saying? We got that, social distancing. But they're not gonna be able to hear that. People upstairs, man, they be stomping.
Kick their ass.
But y'all shouldn't hear it because these mics are high quality and they block out that noise. And watch as I say that. People going back, man, I heard it in the background. But yeah, like I was saying, we wanted to do this podcast so that we can kind of talk about a few things that I think a lot of people may be facing. And someone like you who has a platform, has developed their own platform without any help of anyone, besides me, of course, because I've always been there. Look at her rolling her eyes. But you know what I be doing behind the scenes. But so yeah, where have you been? What's going on with Naomi Marie?
I've been hiding. Not really, but I just felt like I needed a break from YouTube. I haven't really took like a social media break like I've been wanting to, but I haven't taken a YouTube break, which feels really good. Cause like I be feeling stressed sometimes with having to do tutorials and run my business and respond to people, because people think when I don't respond to them that I'm just publicly, or not publicly, purposely ignoring them. That's not the case. I got school, and then I also have some health issues that I've been dealing with, but I try to like make it all work. But I don't know. I just feel like everybody sometimes needs a break, and I don't think that I've took a break since I started, if we're going to be real.
Yeah, I think like I was telling Tarek, mental health is very, very important. And I think that the fact that we are put in a situation where we can't really do too much outside of, you know, our day to day, you know, standard routines. Like if, you have a day job, you go to your day job, you're socially distant. You're wearing a mask all day. It even got to me at one point. Like the reason why I haven't posted, well, I went a stretch of like 2 weeks without posting, was because I didn't feel right. Like I think the effects of being confined and everything that was going on, and I consider myself to be mentally strong. Like I feel like I've been through a lot in my life where I don't take a lot of things, to heart very much at all.
I do.
And but you've been growing personally and all that stuff. But everybody has their moments where you need to just take a back seat and just relax and try to figure out what you can do to have peace of mind. Because if you think about it, um, everybody's been talking about you should be taking advantage of this time because we are in our houses for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But my perspective has always been that if you can take advantage of it, then take advantage of it. But there's also different ways of taking advantage of it that people kind of look down on or they don't really put in the public eye. And to me, that's becoming mentally stronger.
I feel like also it shouldn't be forced.
Right.
Like I feel like when you force it is when it makes everything a lot more difficult. Because I think that's kind of how I was feeling like when I started in March posting back to back to back to back to back, and I seen that I was growing and growing and growing. I just eventually just mentally got so exhausted. And like people always say, well, you should keep going. You're almost at 100K. I don't care about that. I don't care about the subscribers. I don't care about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think also it's kind of like off topic, but not really. I had somebody comment on my one of my videos, my music videos, and said that I shouldn't be posting music videos. They said I should strictly post crochet because it'll help me get to 100K quicker. And I just simply tried to explain to them, like, I'm not concerned with that. Like,
right.
If it doesn't make me happy, I'm not going to force it. Like, I'm not happy all the time when I have to post crochet tutorials because I don't know. Like, I enjoy crocheting, but I don't like it when it becomes a job, and I think that's what it started to feel like. So, which is why I haven't been posting.
Right.
And, everybody do know that I do take orders, which is, that's on me, perfectly fine. But it's just like, it's annoying when you get nagged by people on a daily basis. And like, I don't know, it just makes you not want to do it no more because I originally started doing it for the fun and for the love and for the joy of doing my craft. But when it starts feeling like a job and having people nag, it doesn't even make it enjoyable no more. It just makes you not want to do it.
Yeah. And it's almost like like you said, you don't care about the subscribers and all that. Let me kind of explain that a bit. She cares about people. The number doesn't matter. Like if you comment on her stuff or whatever she does, and you're like, you motivated me to do this or that, or you inspired me, I really enjoy it. I can always see on her face how excited she gets when people are like, you made my day or something. She's like, oh, say, look what this person said, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm like, that's good. That means that you have influence, you have reach, and that makes her feel good. You know what I mean? That's why she does it. It's not because of the money. So like if you're saying, you could get to 100K subscribers quicker if you just post this, then to her,
But it's like
that's not a priority.
It's defeating the purpose. Like I'm attracting more crochet people, which is perfectly fine. But I always tell people I want a broader audience. I want different type of people to watch me. So if I'm constantly posting crochet tutorials, obviously nothing but crocheters are gonna follow me.
Right.
And it's just going to continue to stack and stack and stack where I feel pressured like I have to post a tutorial.
Mm-hmm. So, that's tough because, you've developed this platform and you have a fan base that, and it's tricky because who are true fans? To me, true fans are going to support you no matter what you post. And I think that people who find your videos, a good portion of them find you from crochet, obviously, and they begin to like your personality and kind of how you make your videos and kind of, just your aesthetic and all that stuff, what I'm saying? A little drip. And, your personality, you have a really, really fun personality. People don't see behind the scenes of how frustrated it can be when you have certain people that expect you to do certain things
Or
and they're
how
entitled.
time consuming. Add
Exactly.
that in there.
And like you said, you've been going through some health issues. You're still in school, and it's like it's annoying when someone comments and it's like you can tell they're so entitled or they feel so entitled that it's just like, is this really what we come to as people? YouTube used to be a platform where any random person can take out their flip phone and record something that didn't really mean much, but it meant something to the person that recorded it, so they wanted to upload it. Remember that? And I think that people are looking at YouTube as this second layer of upper level production that's surpassing, basic, the cable television. And it's like they're holding YouTubers to the standard that their quality should be on par with a certain standard, when in actuality it's YouTube. You post what you want to post. And to think that people have to be so concerned about, posting a specific thing to please a certain group of people, to me, that's when it becomes, people are doing it for the money. And that was never your goal.
Never my intent.
It
I
was,
don't care about the money. Like,
you thought it was cool, like, okay, oh cool, I can make some money.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, the reason why you did it was, one, because it was therapeutic. Two,
I like being in front of camera. I wanted to originally go to school to be a news reporter. So this was kind of like a way for me to actually do that, but not work as a news reporter, if that makes sense.
Yep. And I just hope that people understand that, people who have platforms are still people. So we see everything. And obviously I don't have a big platform at all, but I see what y'all, comment on her thing. And I know she goes sometimes days and probably weeks without even looking at the comments, just because.
Yeah. I really it just got to a point where I don't even pay attention no more. Like, sometimes if I see something pop up and somebody asks a question, then I help out. But honestly, I'm at the point where I don't even care. Because, like, some people, like you said, are just so entitled. And personally, look at the camera and tell y'all, I don't owe anybody anything on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on anything. Everything that I post, any tutorial or whatever, is free. Like, that's a free video. So I feel like some people just feel so entitled. Like, be grateful you even got a video. At least the video can guide you so you know what you could do. And if you have questions, of course, ask along the way, but don't bash somebody for posting a free tutorial.
Yeah, and it's different because whenever you get positive criticism, like actual criticism, like you take it and you take it, well, you're like, okay, yeah, that person had a point, And even I be like, yeah, that is a good point. But there are majority of folks, and then when I say majority, there's a select group of people that'll, that are entitled, and they're just like, oh, this sucked. How come you didn't do this, or this was a bad tutorial, and they will just say
and
that.
Not tell me what to fix.
Exactly. And to that, it's very difficult to keep a positive. Think about it like this. Most of you guys who are listening to this or watching this on YouTube, you don't have big platforms on social media. That's just the fact of the matter. And just imagine every day when you wake up, you have 10 different people sending you negative
more than that
feedback. I'm just saying
but
10. I'm just saying
you
10.
gotta put it in perspective too. You have people doing that on YouTube. You have people doing that on Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams, my business page and my regular page. I have 2 Twitters. Like, it's just always something new every day. So I'm like, do y'all not think that people get tired of hearing that? Which is why sometimes, like, I don't even be meaning to go off on people, but some people, y'all, like, deserve it. And I don't feel sorry for that at all. Like, people are just so entitled on that. Entitled everywhere, really.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you think this is such a bad video, why don't you make it?
Mm-hmm. And it's so I know some people are gonna be like, well, nobody's forcing you to post these videos, or you're posting on the internet, open to criticism, and that's fair. But at the same time, look at the purpose, look at the person, and look at what they're trying to do. If the person is obviously on YouTube and this person is a character, they're trying to make money, those people are the people who are desensitized for the most part to comments, because they can care less about what you're saying, because they don't care about you. All they see is
All
a
they
dollar
care
sign.
about is money.
All they see is the dollar sign. But when you have people who genuinely are doing YouTube for their own personal reasons and to help people and stuff like that, those are the people who are truly affected when people are inconsiderate in the comment section and are not giving fair criticism. So I just want you guys to think about that. You know, if you woke up every day and had, 20 different people tell you, your
Your
ugly
video sucked.
yeah, you're ugly, or your boobs are nasty looking, or whatever. It's just like, how do you get started? How do you start the day on a positive note? And that's
how
by
does
not looking
that
at it.
motivate you to want to post some videos
Exactly, for the right reason.
for the right reason?
Because
Yeah.
if you want to make some money, it's like, okay, I don't care what this guy said. I'm gonna post this video. He gonna watch it anywhere. She gonna watch it anyway. So, I just hope everybody takes something from that, because although you may not have a platform and you think that everybody's in it for the same reason, that couldn't be further from the truth. I actually know a lot of people who definitely started and are still doing what they're doing because they truly love it and they don't care about the money. And for someone like you really don't need the money. Like, you're in school, you get the checks that you get, you have your own business, etc. You can literally stop posting like you have.
I could not post
and never post again.
Be perfectly fine.
But the people who genuinely support you, like your, you know how those people are, and the people who are, what's that app that you have people?
Patreon.
Yeah, your patrons. Those people. Those man, people like that are the ones who keep you going. Like, those are the people that are like, ride or die, whatever you post, I'm here for you. And I think that the fact that you do have people that are like that, is unique. And that's why I say you did it the right way, because most people who do it and do it based on clout, they can never get people to support them for them. And I was talking to Quasi, I was like, Kim Kardashian, right? You know how how she got famous based on basically a sex tape and etc. She got clout off that, right? But she didn't start to turn it into influence until later on, when they came out with the Kardashian show, and people started to know her as a person. They're like, oh, actually, I kind of fuck with Kim K. Although I don't think she's, super smart or super this, she's herself. This is who she is. And she turned her clout into influence. And I don't think very many people have been able to do that. But the fact that she has, I thought was interesting. Because think about it, if she was still known today as the lady from the sex tape with Ray J, you think that she'll be, making hella money that she is now?
Not at all.
She would still have money because her family has money, but she wouldn't have the money that she has now. You know what I mean? So that's why I say influence is so important. And you could have a small platform with big influence, or you can have a big influence with small platform. Like, they're not the same thing. So the fact that you do have that influence is a big accomplishment. I think that, I commend you on that.
Thanks,
but also, you talked about, having some other personal issues. Did you want to get into what kind of issues that you were having?
Yeah, I guess I could be more transparent now. I kind of don't like talking about it because it's still like a sensitive and like touchy subject for me. But not many people know. But for those who do know, I did get surgery last year, well, almost a year, in December of last year. And I had this ovarian cyst that was like massive. That was like this big. But like, I still look small. Like, I never knew it was there. And I ended up having to get surgery. I had to get a bikini line cut. Basically, it's like a C-section cut when you do have a baby.
It is a C-section cut.
Yeah. It's ugly. But
You can't even tell.
I don't know. I think I'm just dramatic. But anyway, so I did get the surgery. With me having the surgery, she also noticed that the cyst was really big and it ended up killing off my one of my fallopian tubes. So I got one fallopian tube now. We rocking strong with one. And then also she discovered that I have she diagnosed me with severe chronic not chronic, severe endometriosis, which is a chronic illness. And then for those who don't know what endometriosis is, basically it's like every month a woman has a lining that goes through and then they shed, and that's where your period comes from. So I have that, but then mine happens outside of everywhere where it's not supposed to happen. Like it happens on my fallopian tubes, my ovaries, like literally everywhere, and it sticks every body part together, and it's a whole lot of craziness. So if y'all want to know more about it, be sure to look it up. It's very common in women, but it causes
it's not common for young women, especially your
yeah,
age,
it's
to
normally
be at the
women like
stage that you're at,
30s to 40s.
and you're at like a very very
I'm
severe
stage 4, the highest.
Yep. So you typically don't see that in young women. Typically, you start to see stage 4 when women already pretty much had their kids, and at that point they can get the hysterectomy if they want to go that route.
Right. And I think honestly, some people may think that it's not that deep, but to me it was kind of deep because I do know in my future that I do want kids. So dealing with endometriosis and then losing one of my fallopian tubes, and like endometriosis in general just takes like a huge emotional toll on you physically and mentally. It causes like super fatigue, like obviously why I haven't been posting, because I haven't been in the mood to post. And then a lot of people know that I deal with depression and anxiety as well. So like if you combo all that together, like I wake up and most days I'm not even motivated to do literally nothing. Like I just want to sleep most days, and like he's just like, you gotta get up, you gotta do this, you gotta do something. If it wasn't for him, I probably would like sleep my days away. But with endometriosis, my periods are super painful to where I can't do anything like at all. Like I just want to lay in the bed and cry. Sometimes I do get very nauseous, and then also I get nauseous even when I'm not on my period.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird, and it causes a lot of like pain and uncomfortableness. I won't go too in detail about it, but I think it's very important that most people know about it. But I've been learning to deal with it, but like I said, it's still hard, and most days like I wake up I don't want to do anything. So, and obviously there's no cure for it, and no medication helps. Literally no medication helps. I was taking ibuprofen 800s. It was not working. So, basically how I get through most of my days is a heating pad and marijuana.
Yeah, and that's why I say everything has its good and its bad, because what has a good and a bad side, right?
Mm.
And for you use it for the pain. Like you really, it's rare that people say, I use marijuana for the pain and this and that, and be like truthful about it. But it's 100% true with you, because
if it's not for my pain, I don't smoke at all.
Yeah, like she smokes probably
usually
twice?
Just when my periods are
like that week of your period, and it's a difficult thing because from my perspective, I guess let's talk about going into the surgery. Like, what was that like? I know from my perspective, we had no idea what was really really going on until you went in.
Like we knew I had a cyst, but that's just as far as we knew. We knew I had to get it removed, and that was really that. So I think going into my surgery, I was really afraid, because for one, this was like the first major surgery that I ever had. Besides the stitches, I had to get stitches on my foot when I was little, but I don't really count that. So this was my first major surgery, and then I don't live at home anymore with my parents, so like I don't know, it was just kind of different because like I'm used to my mom and my dad always being there. Ooh, getting emotional.
It's all right, but from that perspective, and we can take a break if you need to. Being in a position I was when you went through the surgery. I was the one that was there. The doctor or the surgeon was talking to me and tell me how it happened and what all was unique to your surgery in your case. And that's how they found the endometriosis and all that stuff. And she was telling me how they had to do all this and remove that. And I
Oh, wait. Let me add real quick. Endometriosis, they say, can be removed by surgery, but like literally everybody who's gotten it removed from surgery, it comes back. So it just kind of defeats the point of surgery, but continue.
yeah, so when she was telling me what all they had to do, to me, I always go into everything with the most optimistic possible outlook, because to me, I don't think you should worry about something until it's time to worry about it. So what I always tell you, because you worry more than I do for sure. You're like,
I worry
talking
about everything.
and you be like, this is that and the third, and then I look at you and I'm like, am I worried about it? And then you'll say something like, well, blah 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 blah, and I'll say, am I worried about it? And when I tell you I'm worried about something, then you be worried. But other than that, you don't need to be worried, because we gonna control what we can control, and at the end of the day, we still good. And when she was telling me that she had to remove these things and blah blah blah, I felt bad. Like my heart kind of felt, my heart dropped. I'm just like, damn, because I'm thinking about it from the side of how Nay is gonna feel when she gets this news, and how I got to be strong for her, because I know that she was already emotional going into this whole situation. And then once she finds out that they had to remove some organs and there is a possibility that she may not be able to get pregnant naturally, I knew that was going to hit hard, because you've been talking about having a baby for a long time, like a real, real long time. So, from my side, I was trying to do everything in my power to make sure that you were staying mentally strong. But, I think that, and fast forward till today, literally this week, explain what you have done.
Oh Lord, I forgot. I already forgot about that. So this week, I was supposed to get it done in March, but I ended up having to wait because COVID happened. So basically, I had to get an HSG test. And for those who don't know what that is, basically they go through your vagina as if you're about to get a pap smear, and then they insert this thing that's like the size of a straw through your cervix. If you don't know what a cervix is, look it up. They stick it through the
You
cervix.
should know what a cervix.
Some people don't know, or at least guys don't know. You stick it through the cervix, and then they insert this thing that's like this long inside, and they inject dye to see if your fallopian tube is open. And like if it's open, you'll see the dye go through. So, but I got good news. My tube, the one tube I do have, is open. So, yeah, that was good news. I think the hardest thing for me was just like, how do I want to say it? I'm about to cry. Not trying to cry. I think the hardest thing for me, like when I woke up from surgery, was just thinking like, dang, like, I might not be able to have Xavier's kids. So it just kind of like messed with me a little bit.
You take a break.
I'm good.
Good. So yeah,
it was just okay. So I think my whole thing is people say it's not that deep. They always say you can adopt. That's fine, but like adoption was never something that I wanted to do. I mean, I don't mind it. I'm not against it, but I just know it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes like kids can be a deal breaker for somebody, to have your own kids and like go through the experience. But I don't know. I just felt like it was a lot. Because like I said, it normally happens for people who are older than what I am. I'm 22, and I feel like I just dealt with a lot of stuff super soon. Like that all happened when I was 21, but I just felt like it happened so quick. But I mean, it's just something I'm learning to live with. So it is what it is.
And you've been doing, a really good job of being strong. I think from my side, the idea that we couldn't have our own kids is definitely something that I'm more so worried about for you in your mental health, because obviously I want to have kids. I want to have my own kids. I want us to have kids, but I'm more so worried about are you going to be okay in that situation? That's why, like, the night before she went to go get the test to see if, her fallopian tube was still, functioning right. The whole time I'm just thinking in my head, if this does not come back the way we expect it or the way we want it, then, this is going to really, really, hurt her. So, what I always tell her is, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best. So when she gave me the news that, it looked like it was still working, I was really happy. Not even for myself. I was just happy for her because I don't want her to have to deal with that burden of, feeling like, she's less than a woman or anything. So.
And then also it makes it kind of difficult. Like, I mean, most people don't know because, people don't know unless you talk to them about it. But, like, it's just annoying sometimes, like, when you always have people constantly ask you, oh, hey, like, when are you going to have a baby?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I'm trying, like, my body ain't working. So, I mean, but some people don't understand that, and most people don't think that most women deal with things like that. So just be more considerate, y'all, if y'all talk to somebody. And,
Yeah. Yeah, and from my side, I'm always there when people ask that, and I'm just like, come on, like, stop asking that shit, like, because the thing is, I know it's gonna, bring the thoughts back in your brain, and then you don't want to talk to people because you're thinking about it, and I'm just like, bro, come on, like, I know people they don't
like, some
do it.
people genuinely don't know
They
and they
think
don't understand.
but it's a joke. Like, most of the time, it's like, one of them babies popping out, what I'm saying? And people just don't understand because, and it's not their fault because a lot of them don't know. Like, they don't know what we've been going through. But the people who do know, knows that it hits, a sensitive kind of, part in your heart. So,
yeah, because it's just like, I mean, I know some people don't mean any harm when they do be joking, but it's just like, I've been trying for these amount of months, and, like,
mm-hmm.
I just try to laugh it off. But,
Yep.
like, I mean, I will say in the beginning, it really did affect me, but I'm learning to get better with how I control it, because I feel like whenever it's time for me, it will be time for me, and whatever God has put for me to have, it will be. So I try not to, like, stress about stuff like that no more. But it's still, sometimes it can hit, like, a sensitive spot.
Yeah, and I always told her, no matter if that fallopian tube worked or not, we could still have a baby. We would just have to, go to the fertility place, and I had to, do the little thing in the cup or whatever they do it, and then they'll marry the two and create an embryo, throw it in her
I
uterus.
just feel like, too, and it's also so, like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with IVF, but I feel like it's just so much.
I mean, it costs a lot.
And I feel like
on,
it's low-key kind of mentally draining, too, because it's just like, dang, you can't even get pregnant on your own.
I don't look at it that way.
That's how I see it. I'm just like, dang, like, you can't even do this on your own.
I
and then you
wouldn't
got
look
to
at
pay to do it.
You shouldn't look at it that way because most women don't have a smooth pregnancy or a path to pregnancy. Mm-hmm. So I would look at it as, it's 2020. We have so many options available to us. We have so many, means of getting to our goal that you can't look at it as anything other than that. And, although it's expensive, like, if we needed to drop 20,000 to make it happen, we could do it, like, and not have to take out no loans, no nothing. Because
I don't know. I think it's just like the thought. It's just like, why even, like, why do we even have to go through that?
But think about it. Everything happens for a reason. So, like, if somebody without a platform or anything had to go through these situations, which a lot of people do, who are they influencing other than their immediate family and friends?
Which is also why I wanted to start switching the content on my channel to, like, doing more stuff that, like, not saying my channel is not me, but make it more me. Like, an actual show, like, raw footage of, like, stuff I go through and stuff that we have to deal with. Because a lot of people, like, I know sometimes I look up stuff like that and you don't really see much.
Yeah.
And you don't really see Black women posting about it. Not saying, we're superior than anybody, but it's just, like, the truth. You don't really see Black women posting about it, and you don't really see people posting about it that is my age. So,
but just look at, for instance, Chadwick Boseman. He had, cancer, and he didn't tell anyone. And then what, he had it for like 4 years or something like that. Didn't
Mhm.
tell anyone. But let's say some random person had it and, didn't tell anyone. Then it's like, okay, only their family knew about it, probably, and the friends. But the fact that Chadwick had such great influence because of what he did in the world, it gave it the purpose. That was his purpose in life. His purpose, and I don't want to, say his purpose, but from my perspective, God gives us all a, a purpose to do whatever we need to do.
Mhm.
And the fact that, you know, he put these challenges in front of you means that there's almost an obligation, I believe, for you to be that person that people look up to and say, she is truly a remarkable person, and she's going through all this, and she's able to still keep going and keep pushing and keep being, the
Cause
person she
like,
is.
believe it or not, like with all the stuff that I deal with, and like how most days I'm down and out, you'll never see me sad.
I'll see you sad.
They won't.
I mean, yeah, they not gonna see you sad because,
Like all everybody ever sees is like happy nay, smiling nay.
and that's your personality. That's who you are. But I think that, you know it's unrealistic for anyone to be a specific emotion 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that people only see that aspect of you, and now you're coming out and you're telling them the reasons why you've been gone, and this is legit real. Like, you know, I don't. They know, how private I am about stuff. Like, I don't tell anybody anything about anything. But, I feel like she would be doing herself and possibly a lot of people a disservice if she didn't do what she absolutely wanted to do, and that was tell people why, and what you've been going through. Because you've been telling me
I've
for
been
a
wanting to
while.
post it since I found out I was getting surgery, but I kind of like, I don't know. I felt like some stuff should stay private, but then I'm like, well, there's other people out there who could probably relate, you know?
Right.
And like, I felt like I was going through everything alone. Like, even though you were here, I felt like I was going through everything alone.
Yep. And that's something that a lot of people feel. A lot of people feel when they go through things, they don't have enough to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
But look at us today. You got through the tests. Everything's good as far as, we still can, get pregnant naturally. You still have everything that you need. I think that it's so important that you continue to work on your mental strength. Not you, but in general, because you never know what challenges are going to come. But if you've already been preparing for challenges, once they do come, you know how to attack them and how to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't always mean to keep doing what you were doing. Like, in her aspect or your situation, posting videos. I don't think that it would have been a good idea to keep posting videos because you're not addressing the issue that you're having internally. And
I
that's
think it kind of helps, and it makes me feel a little bit better. Like, now that I'm going to be posting about like what I deal with.
mm-hmm.
So,
So, I think from that perspective, you kind of opening up. We talk all the time. I mean, we together, through thick and thin. So we know everything. COVID fist bump. We know everything, as far as what we be going through, and it's taken us a long time. I wouldn't say a long time, faster than most couples, I would think, because
but most couples, if you think they don't have the bond that we have.
But we actively work on our communication because I know how important it is, and she knows how important it is to have healthy communication because, when two people love each other, communication should not be the reason why things don't work out. Because if I'm openly honest with you and you're openly honest with me, if I truly love you and you truly love me, there's a certain level of respect and love that shouldn't be trumped on, that shouldn't be stepped on.
Mm-hmm.
We should know that. So, from a relationship standpoint, it's all about being strong for each other. And if you're not in a relationship, there are people that generally you should be able to go to. Like, you should be able to go to your friends, your parents, whoever the case may be. Even if you have a pet, you know.
That's one thing I also can say I'm super thankful for. Like I can talk to my mom about anything,
Hmm.
and my sister I can talk to her about anything, and I can talk to you about anything.
Well, sometimes you feel like you can talk to me about anything because sometimes,
I mean, but I end
like,
up talking to you about stuff. But like sometimes, I don't know. I think sometimes I underestimate your maturity level. Like I be thinking you'll react a different way with a lot of stuff. So sometimes I don't be wanting to say nothing, but then I'll end up telling you anyway. So
because my thing is, I'm the type of a person where if you tell me up front, you know, I take it, I take it mature because I'm grateful that you're telling me, you know, the fact that you can't be, that you're not comfortable saying certain things or telling me certain things, to me that means that we have some areas of where we need to grow. And you know, we've grown a lot. Like there's been instances where you haven't told me something, and then I would find out, and then you know how I am when I find, like y'all think, you know, for one, that's why respect is so big for me, because I think that there should be no reason why communication isn't a priority, and you should never feel that you can't tell me something. So we've grown a lot in that aspect. I mean, we've been with each other for almost what, 3 years?
almost.
About to be 3 years. So
I know sometimes that I'm super dramatic too. So like sometimes I just be unnecessary. But he knows that, and he knows how to deal with me when I'm being very unnecessary.
yeah,
He just like blocks it out.
but you know, it's understanding because like we're two opposite people, and
Very
I think that's
opposite.
why opposites attract, because my personality, I'm very mellow. I can be goofy, you know, I can be very goofy, but I can also be extremely serious. And you know, sometimes the way I say things may come off as me being harsh, but in my mind, I'm not being harsh. Like, you know what I mean? Like my criticisms are direct. Like I don't use a lot of fluff a lot of times when I get
I
criticism.
use a lot of fluff. I'm always goofy. I don't have a serious side.
Hmm.
Literally, I'm always laughing.
And she know when I'm serious. Like the serious version of me, most people. Well, let me not say that. You know, I can be serious, but there's a different side of me when I feel someone's in danger, or, um, you know, something's not right.
Hmm.
And I think that a lot of men have this, but a lot of men don't. Like, you know how some people, there's some thug dudes that's going to claim that, you know, they do all this, that, and the third, and maybe they do. And I don't claim to be anything but who I am. And when I see that someone is doing something that could be, you know, detrimental to, you know, a loved one or something, then you have to deal with who that person is, right? So, and you got to be like that as a man. You can't let people do what they want, you know, and disrespect whoever. You have to be able to stand on your own two toes. I said two toes. Your own 10 toes. And I think the fact that I've been through what I've been through growing up, I don't fear anything. Like I don't. I mean, that's hard to say. I'm God fearing, but my level of fear is on that level of, you know, of I fear God. You know, I don't fear any other man. So my role in life is to, you know, support my loved ones. You know, that be you and whoever. And I'm the nicest guy in the world, but at the same time, you know, I am who I am.
Hmm.
And if people are gonna, you know, do certain things, then those people are, you know, gonna have to deal with that side. And
I think that's one thing I had to learn how to adapt to with you. Like how you say sometimes you say stuff and it may come off as harsh.
mhm,
Like I had to. I don't know. I think that's just how a part of growing. Like
yep,
learning how to adapt to each other.
yep,
Cause like it's easy to just say you're in a relationship with somebody and not fully be able to communicate with them and not fully understand them.
mhm.
So
But also, I don't want you guys to think that I'm out here just, you know, on some crazy stuff. It's like I I don't take a lot of things serious or to heart at all.
I do.
It has to be extremely out of line for me to come out of my, that phase of who I am and be that person. But, you know, I wouldn't be with someone like me if I didn't have that quality as a woman. You should look at me and feel safe all the time. You should look at me and know that, if something were to go down, I'm not going to, be no wuss. You know what I mean?
No wussy.
So, I think from a masculine standpoint, if I was a woman, I would definitely want that kind of peace of mind. But I'm not dating me, so it is what it is. So we've actually gone quite a bit. You kind of explained why things kind of happen the way they happen and why you've been taking your break. What can we expect from you going forward?
I think going forward, I won't promise that I will be consistently posting 3 times a week. I can't promise that right now because I have stuff that I'm working on, with school and whatnot. But I'm going to strive to post at least 1 video a week. What that video will be, I can't promise that either. Yep. But I know I do have a crochet audience, so I will try my best to post possibly something crochet related, or crochet tips or something that I'm able to quickly push out. But I think with me taking some orders, I think I have some orders for stuff that I haven't did a video on. Yeah. So I might try to film that in the process. We'll see how I feel. Yeah. I be trying, y'all. I'm just so tired.
But you've been in better spirits lately for, the past several weeks. I know it's been tough sledding, but, we get through it and we just keep going. So that's all you really can do. And I think that's what you guys should take from this is don't feed into what everyone else is doing. Don't feed into what you see on social media.
Don't worry about what everybody else is doing.
Don't worry about it because everybody is going to operate at their own speed, and don't feel that you're behind. Because
and I think also, sorry to cut you off, I think everybody has their own path, and oftentimes we'll look at somebody's like, so say for instance, somebody my age, 22, and who does the same thing I do might look at me and be like, why am I not like her? Or why am I not doing the things she's doing? Everybody has their own life path, and everything happens when it's supposed to happen. If it's not, if it hasn't happened for you yet, it's probably not your time. Yep. So I think everybody has their own pace, and just focus on you and do what you need to do to put yourself at the next level.
Yeah, because at one point, I would ask Nay, I'm like, okay, what you doing today? And I think you were taking that as me saying, you need lazy as hell. Yeah, you need to do something. But really, I'm just asking you, like, what are you doing today? And then I started to get that vibe that she was thinking that. Then I was like, Nay, it's okay to not do anything some days. Like, it's okay to take weeks off and not do anything. And I think that the fact that people are saying that during this coronavirus pandemic, you have to be, doing this and doing that and taking advantage, it's not okay. Because for one, you don't know what someone is dealing with internally that could be detrimental to, their existence, So you speak from your own, perspective. If you feel you should be doing something, then do it. But don't condemn other people for, coping with whatever situation they're going through during this time. Because even people like me, who I believe are extremely strong mentally, are affected. Like, I was affected for like 2 weeks. Well, I was affected more than 2 weeks. I had to tell
him, like, Zay, where your videos at?
I mean, I was like 2 weeks. I was just like pissed. I was just like mad. Like, I don't know. Like, I was mad about, how just the world was going and, everybody's having job issues. I'm just like, I was just pissed. I wasn't motivated. And some people will feel like that naturally. That's just how they feel because of whatever electrons are going through their brain and, whatever emotions, hormones, whatever the case may be, that's how they feel. So don't be that guy or that girl who's like, you should be taking advantage of this or that. Look at who you're talking to, understand that person, get to know them, see what's going on. My friend Quasi, he called me today. And this is why I be telling people, you gotta know who you're your people are. You got to know them. He
Mhm.
called me just to check on me. And to me, that's crazy that, it's I think about that so highly when it should be a normal
A
thing.
normal
It
thing.
should be a normal, just like being a good person. Being a good person, we shouldn't have to, you know, uh, celebrate people for being good people. That should be a normal thing. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mm.
oh, that person's such a great person. He did this or that. It's like, okay, you can celebrate what they did, but at the same time, we shouldn't be celebrating people simply because they're not racist. We shouldn't be celebrating people just because they have morals. If anything, we need to standardize that, and that should be how life is,
Mhm.
and make that the kind of end all be all. Also, support. You know, I think support goes so much farther beyond you know saying I support you, and we talked about this
Oh
before.
yes, we did. Go check out that podcast.
We in yesterday, Kurt, y'all know Curtis. He was on the podcast. We talked about stocks not too long ago, maybe like episode 6 or something. And he owns his own watch company called Black Tie Watches, Black Tie Watch Company. Yesterday, I bought one of his watches, and mind you, we already have a couple of them because we did some marketing for him to help get the thing out. But what I see far too often, especially in our community, is empty support, and that means, okay, I'm either not gonna share it and just tell the person, I like what you're doing, keep it up. Like, obviously, thanks, thanks, but do something, help me, because I know how hard it is. It's hard to be your own boss. It's hard to start things and not know what the public is gonna think about it.
But that's one thing that like you've always told me and taught me. You can't, how do you say it? Like you can't trust that's somebody's going to always support you and somebody's going to always share your stuff cuz people aren't going to do that. They're
Exactly,
very vocal and not, you know.
exactly. But I think as a people, we need to change that. We need to make the situation different. So I bought a watch from him yesterday, and obviously I think the watches are cool. I wouldn't, you know, even if I didn't like the watch, I would have bought something from him to show support, because that's how close we are as a friendship. And to say that we're best friends, that's not true. But he was nice enough to come on my show and give me his perspective. So it's like, if you truly support someone, then it's not going to be empty support. There's going to be actionable items that you can look back on and say, this is what I did to help your whatever.
Like I try my best. I mean, there's times where I buy from other people who crochet. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to buy from anybody because I can make anything. Like it's easy to look at a picture for me and figure out how to make it. But I bought something from somebody else who crochets. I'm not gonna say who because y'all see when I post a picture in it. But I don't know. It just makes you feel a lot better. Like I don't mind buying from people who do the same thing I do. Hell, I don't even mind buying from somebody who do something based off of a pattern that I made. Like
Yep.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I don't know, a lot of people are just stuck on the fact that some bigger influencers or people like me are like not that type of people.
Yeah.
Like I try to share everybody's stuff. Like sometimes if I catch somebody tag me in their stuff, I'll put it on my story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't post everybody because obviously I'll be busy and I'll be doing stuff. But for the ones that I do see, I try my best.
Exactly. And that's what we need to change, because I think you were doing it anyway. Like, that's just who you are.
Yeah.
You like to
You
show support.
ain't got to pay me. I just
Hmm.
post.
And it's almost to a fault with you sometimes, because I'm like, you better, this person, you don't know this person that well, you better get your coins, because for real.
But I think for me, I understand how hard it was when I started.
I understand, but
So I try to help some people, but not, I mean, there is times where I want my money, but
but I'm saying, like, people who you support because of the person, not because of the business. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you know the business before you know the person, and in that case, to me, there's a business relationship that's more so important than the personal. But if I know Joe Bob before he started some snapback hat company, then I'm not going to, worry about the business aspect of it, because I know who Joe Bob is. I'm like, oh, okay, I respect the fact that he trying to do something new. He trying to step out of, his normal, whatever he does. So I'm going to support that, and I'm going to help him, because people who are trying to do new things, it's so easy to get discouraged and to not go, like to stop going, because when you don't get that response from whoever that you're trying to show, it can be demoralizing. You're like, why the heck am I doing this? I'm wasting all this money and all this time. I can just go back to my day job.
But I think also sometimes a lot of people expect the ones who are closer to them or the ones who've known them for years to be the ones who support them.
Yep.
And that's not always the case.
Yep. And you know what's crazy is like people like Kwesi, and I keep bringing him up because he is truly one of the people that he will support you ride or die. And it's so refreshing because he shows up in the comment section, you know,
literally
he likes the videos, he you know, he shares them on Instagram, and you know, I'm just like, you know, for something, really it all takes 45 seconds to do.
It really
but
do.
It's
and you
amazing.
don't even got to be like a thoughtful comment. It's just the
fact that it's a, you know, the interaction, you know, it help that YouTube algorithm. You know what I mean?
Because I think if I think about it, like, besides my family and you, I don't think anybody has ever, like, anybody I consider a friend or a close friend, never comments on anything I do.
Mm-hmm.
They only comment on stuff, like, if they see it's blowing up on Twitter or if it's blowing up on Instagram, then they'll comment.
Yeah.
But, like, any other time, people don't comment on my stuff.
And I think that's that human nature that we talked about where, you know, once you do make it, people are like,
I know her.
Yeah, I know who that is. You know, I went to school with her or whatever. You know, that's my homegirl. And, you know, I think we just got to get out of that because, and also don't let, you know, fame or clout, you know, change you. I know there's some people out there who, you know, who end up going viral or this or that. And you forget about the people who, you know, who were actually supporting you or who, you know, whatever the case may be. Just don't change up for whatever. And I think that
I'm still the same person.
Yeah, you're still the same. And
when I had no followers and when I had no subscribers.
Exactly.
The same.
And me, I know I'm not going to change because I don't even look at social media in that way. Like even when we was getting millions and millions of hits for the pictures.
You really don't. You just be watching YouTube.
Yeah, like, you know, that's why I'm already battle tested. You know, when this channel blow up or whatever, even if it don't blow up, you know, I'm who I am. And, you know, if a company reach out to me and say they want to partner up with me, I wouldn't sign that dotted line until, you know, I feel that the product or whatever service they're providing meets a certain standard that I would, you know, recommend to my people or something like that. So I hope that, you know, you all respect that's who I am. Like, you know, and I think that the people who are like that are the people who are, you know, who can go to sleep at night and be happy knowing that they are who they are and they not trying to be this character to make money. Because we got money. You know what I mean? Like no flex, but if we didn't have money, then it will be a different story. You know, they will be posting the videos.
Be posting them prank videos.
Yeah, posting them prank videos. Caught my girlfriend, you know, all that stuff. So, well, I definitely appreciate you hopping on the show.
I'm about to say I live here.
Yep. And we need to clean this place up tonight because, you know, we got a little stuff in the kitchen and, you know, we like it spotless.
All right, now you're ranting.
I'm ranting. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been the Red Eye Podcast. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you give us a like rating.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe. And also, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, 5-star rating would be greatly appreciated. If you're listening on any other platform, do what you need to do to make sure that we get in that algorithm, whether it's a like or a 5-star or whatever the case may be. Also, share the video. Share the podcast. It really helps. And I will definitely show my appreciation if you share it and then let me know you shared it. I respond to pretty much everything. I said that kind of off.
I love you, dude.
Love you too, babe. COVID fist bump. All right, so in Naomi Marie, you go ahead and do your closing remarks. They know who you are.
I ain't got to say too much.
Check
Check out my channel if you don't already Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to his channel. He works really hard on his videos. His quality is always A1. I think that alone makes you want to subscribe.
Dang, she's saying the content is ass, but the quality. No,
No.
I'm
No,
kidding.
that's it.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out his channel. Check out my channel, and hope to see y'all back soon. Anything else you got to say?
Oh, I'm over here looking at a computer. Peace. See you guys in the next one.